cover maintenance basics. Basic routine equipment maintenance is often a dental assistant's job. You are often going to be responsible for basic maintenance as far as your dental equipment daily, weekly, monthly, quarterly, and yearly. And it just really depends on what the equipment is and how often it needs to be maintained. So you need to make sure that you are aware of all of the owner's manuals. You've kind of read through them. You kind of know the expectation of how to take care of a lot of this equipment in your office. The list we're going to go over was originally supplied by the American Dental Association and was ran on a message board from Dental Town. This list should cover what an average dental practice is using, but this is not all inclusive. This just kind of covers some of the basics. So some of the daily basics: at the start of the day, you're going to want to turn on the compressor, the vacuum, and the main water lines. Check fluid levels on the sterilizer, x-ray processor, topping any liquids off if necessary. You'll want to turn on the delivery systems and open the nitrous and oxygen tanks if you have a central system. If not, no need to worry about that. Check your ultrasonic solution and change if needed. The ultrasonic solution, as we spoke about in Lecture 3, does need to be changed daily. So oftentimes you're just going to be filling it at this point, but every office is different. If you're using self-contained water systems and air purging every night, run the handpieces and depress the water buttons on air water syringes to establish waterline pressure. And then you're going to want to refill the water bottles of your self-contained water bottle systems. At the end of the day, it's always good to clean the sterilizer door gasket with a soft cloth and a mild non-antibacterial liquid soap. Clean out or change the chairside vacuum traps. Be sure to securely replace the lid of the trap when it's completed. Run vacuum system cleaner through all of your vacuum lines. Empty your waste bottle tank on the sterilizers that are equipped with one. Not every sterilizer has one, so you'll just need to know your specific equipment. Turn off all equipment as listed above: your delivery systems, your oxygen, your nitrous tanks, sterilizer, compressor, vacuum, and the main water line. If you're using a Dentex processor, remove the cover and slide the lid of the covers. Slide the covers of the solution trays to the side, allowing the vapors to escape. Dry water lines by purging with air. And then weekly maintenance basics, you're going to want to clean the interior and exterior of sterilizer, including the reservoir. Check the autoclave safety valve by pulling on the ring with pliers. It should spring back. If it doesn't, then that's something you need to look into. Check the sterilizer filters and perform a spore test. Verify that the sterilizer is level. Check chairside trap screens and the O-ring in the lid for wear and replace if necessary. Always securely replace the lid of the trap afterwards. Check and replace or clean out the central vacuum and the main water line filters. Check your amalgam separator. Disassemble and lubricate vacuum valves. Clean the ultrasonic cleaner. Clean the operating light reflectors and the lens shield. Nothing worse than having a patient sit down and they look up and your light is dirty. Check oil on all oil lubricated compressors and drain the compressor tank. Clean processor racks according to the manufacturer's instructions. Empty and clean out bottles of self-contained water systems. Clean the boiling chamber of the water distiller. Some monthly basics may include: perform an extended cleaning of X-ray processor per your manufacturer's recommendations. This all goes back to just keeping the manuals, making sure that you're familiar with them. It can be a tedious process, so just to warn you. Check and clean the plaster trap. Check emergency resuscitation equipment. Lubricate joints on operating lights, sterilizer door hinges, air water syringe buttons, and other similar items around the office. Clean pan or Ceph X-ray screens with the screen cleaner. And using heat-resistant PPE, check the sterilizer safety valve while under pressure. Check the sterilizer door for plumb. Check your air-water filters in the junction box. And then some quarterly maintenance. So you're going to want to check filters of the compressor in the central vacuum. Check the compressor oil. Check tubing on delivery systems, nitrous, and vacuum, as well as handpiece gaskets and or coupler O-rings for signs of wear. Clean the model trimmer when the drain lines. Lubricate drivetrain on the Dentex processors. Check hydraulic fluid of the patient chair. And test your smoke alarms. Some annual maintenance, so once a year. Change sterilizer door gasket, the bellows, and fill the filters. Change oil if it's an oil lubricated compressor. Have the fire extinguishers inspected. Have X-ray equipment inspected. Conduct an OSHA training and review emergency procedures with staff. Some maintenance tips for you. Be observant. Note any equipment which exhibits unusual behavior, loud or abnormal noise, or unusual appearance or discoloration. Just because you've done your daily, weekly, monthly, annual maintenance doesn't mean something's not going to eventually wear out, break. So just be aware of different, like I said, different sounds, unusual behavior. Just keep an eye on all that stuff. Keep all owner's manuals and manufacturer's recommendations in a secure place to consult when needed. A lot of this stuff you can find online now if you just Google the make and model of whatever you're looking up, so that you don't necessarily need to keep them in the office, but it is a good idea just to have it or know how to access it pretty easily. Consult owner's manuals for recommended maintenance and supplement the list above accordingly. So just because we've gone over this is not set in stone. Again, you want to, per manufacturer, per machine in your office, you're going to want to treat it accordingly. Check with your local authorities for your requirements. Some things may have a different frequency requirement in your area. For example, spore tests. Some areas want it done more often. Some want it done weekly. So you just want to make sure that you know how often things need to be done. Be aware of seasonal tendencies for extremes of heat, cold, and humidity and the effect these extremes can have on specific pieces of equipment. Be mindful of critical equipment and always have spares of the following on hand. Very important. Light bulbs for operating and curing lights. Filters for air and water lines. Replacement screens for screens, traps for the central vacuum. Fuses for chairs, sterilizer, processor. Hydraulic fluid if you have hydraulic chairs, and compressor oil. Always have a backup in case of failure of a compressor, vacuum, or sterilizer. Having a smaller secondary unit on hand that can be swapped out temporarily can keep your office up and running. And that's maintenance basics.